Here we have BPI 1.M.R or 1 more rep ultra concentrated pre-workout powder. Now I believe this is the previous generation to the one that they are currently selling, although the expiration dates on the white labels are still going to be around for, a year or so. So you'll still be seeing this label around. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at it, man. We'll take a look at the ingredient list in a minute. Of course, this will be sealed up, but I had to try it first. This is orange, by the way, so look at that. It looks a little different. Doesn't look that great, kind of a brown beigey color. Of course, you got your scoop in there, which is about 5 grams, is your serving size. It doesn't smell very well, but once you mix it up and taste it, it's not bad at all. It actually does taste pretty good. So the first thing we'll do before we get into the ingredients, we'll go ahead and mix it up here. So we'll just grab 1 scoop, throw it in there just so we can see how it mixes. It's not clumpy or anything, so that's always good. And just in water, stir that up. All right, there we go. It doesn't take long at all to stir up. So there you go. That's what it looks like. If you're going to put it in about 6 to 8 ounces of water, I personally prefer to put it in about 24 to 32 ounces of water or so. Another thing you can do, of course, because this is orange, you could throw it into, say, some orange Powerade Zero. You probably don't want to consume a lot of calories with a pre-workout because it just makes some of the ingredients not work quite as well. I'm not telling you not to do it. You can, of course, there's nothing wrong with training fasted. Nothing at all wrong with training fasted. I prefer that. And there's also nothing wrong with training fed. You can really do whatever you want to gain muscle, lose weight. Both of them are actually effective, and you can look at the studies to prove that. But something like Powerade Zero is always good if you want to throw a pre-workout in there. Okay, so there you go. You can see no clumps. Overall, the taste is pretty good. Obviously, it's going to have that sort of chemical flavor to it, as all pre-workouts do. But once it's in 24 ounces of water or so, it's highly drinkable, and it's actually pretty good. It has a good orange flavor overall, not chalky or anything like that. So that's the flavor, that's the mixing. Let's go ahead and look at the label. BPI Sports 1.M.R, 1 more rep. As you can see, of course, it's ultra concentrated. This is orange. This one is 4.9 ounces. There's a supplement facts. We'll go ahead and come over here first, so you can just read through that. You can, of course, go through the warning there, go through the suggested use, obviously 1 scoop. Don't take more than 1 serving a day, and that's because this will contain about 300 milligrams, 200 to 300 milligrams of caffeine. This has a proprietary label, which I absolutely despise. No need for it. It's stupid. But, that's what we have to deal with a lot of times, unfortunately. So they really only say the caffeine content in this is about that of 3 cups of coffee. They don't stipulate if 3 cups means 8-ounce cups or a standard 6-ounce cup of coffee, so we don't really know the exact amount of caffeine. That really puts you between 200 and 300 milligrams. All right, so you probably don't want to be taking in 600 milligrams of caffeine within, an hour or two. So, try to stick with 1 serving, unless you're really, you're not very sensitive to caffeine. Then of course you can double up if you want, but start slow with any pre-workout. Go ahead and go over these supplement facts there. I'm not going to read through every single thing. I'll just flash some information up on screen about some of the ingredients. Overall, it's a pretty good blend of ingredients, to be honest with you there. Like I said, this is a proprietary label, which of course means they just say there's 3,500 milligrams of all of this. They don't say the exact breakdown. So that's where we sort of don't know if we're getting, tried and true tested amounts of each of these ingredients. So we got beta alanine. We know there's no way at 3,500 milligrams, there's no way we're getting a good amount of beta alanine in there, because beta alanine, you're going to want about 3.2 to 6.4 grams. That's the effective dose. So there's no way at 3.5 that we're getting the 3.2 of this. Okay. Same thing for creatine. You're still going to have to take creatine afterwards, because there's no way we're getting even 3 grams of creatine in this. This does have creatine in the pre-workout. Some people don't like that. Some people do. I'm sort of agnostic on the point. I'm still going to take it post-workout anyway. But this does have beta alanine with the carnosine, which is good. It does have creatine. You can think that's good or bad. It's really up to you. Taurine, that's great. Arginine, alpha ketoglutarate, so that should work a little better than just straight up arginine. Arginine is hypothetically good for say human growth hormone, but usually it's thrown in there for, say, to get the pump, blood flow, things like that. Of course, I would definitely prefer to see citrulline in here, because that just, it just works better. But then there's our caffeine. Again, they don't tell us exactly how much is in there. Plenty of other things here for energy and focus, and norepinephrine and dopamine reuptake inhibitors there for concentration, energy, things like that. Again, I'm just going to throw information up on screen there about these different ingredients. Okay, very good. So that is pretty much all you need to know about our BPI 1.M.R. As far as the ingredients go, it's a good list of ingredients. Of course, the problem comes in that it's a proprietary label, so we don't know the exact amounts that we're getting. So we don't know if we're getting actually effective amounts. You know, there's a lot of supplements that they actually work. You know, a lot of supplements work, but they have to be introduced at the correct amount. Otherwise, you're not going to have any, or relatively any, actual effect. Okay. So that's one problem I have with it. But as far as focus and energy goes, power output, there is a difference versus, say, just taking coffee or something like that. Again, I prefer to have this in, drink it over, say, an hour or so, maybe even an hour and a half or two, in about 32 ounces of water. So that's how I prefer it. If you just want to gulp it down, in 6 to 8 ounces of water, completely fine as well. I just prefer to have it in a much larger container. That's just me. But overall, I'll say it is effective. I will say that the ingredient list is relatively impressive. Beta-alanine, creatine, arginine, a lot of other stuff in there, which is good. But again, I really wish we knew the exact amounts. But as far as energy goes, it is going to give you caffeine. So we know that caffeine does indeed work and help energy output and things like that. So it's worth, checking out if you're interested in a pre-workout. I do wish it had carnitine in it. That's me, acetyl L-carnitine would be nice. A few other ingredients would be nice, but we deal with what we got. So that is the BPI 1.M.R. Overall, a pretty standard pre-workout with a lot of good ingredients that are built around focus, energy, and power. So you can go always go check that out if you want. Again, this is the previous generation. The new generation will have a blue label and the ingredients are completely different. So don't watch this video and then go buy the new blue label and think you're getting the same thing. The new blue label is a completely different formulation. Unfortunately, it still has a proprietary label, but like I said, we deal with what we got in the supplement world, unfortunately, but that does need to stop. Anyway, BPI 1.M.R, overall a nice standard pre-workout.